Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of Stuart's Classic Bikes and Cars here in the Philippines. Well, we've had a bit of a mishap today. I had intended to do this in the garage, but unfortunately the local electric company have decided to do some work on the power line, so we've got no power. So I've moved the bike to the front of the garage so we can get some daylight on the job. So let's see what I'm trying to do today. Well, I'm waiting for parts for the forks to come. I've got to remove these yet because these are surplus to require. There's a few brackets to come off the frame. I'm waiting for the aluminium plate to come to make these. So what I've decided to do today to keep the ball rolling a little bit is have a look and see what sort of seat I'm going to put on the bike. So when I sat on the bike last time, when I had one of the previous episodes, I put a temporary backstop on to come up against the back of the seat, and I measured it, and it's 35 inches. So let's just have a look at 35 inches, which is there, which is the back of this. So let's just mark that so we know where we are. So that there is the back of the seat hump. That's where the back of the seat's going to be there. In the future I'm going to cut this off, this bit here and this bit. I'm going to put a loop in here, just a small steel tube, and I'll weld it into the frame. I'll put it inside this tube and I'll put it around here, which these are awful. It'll just tidy this back end up a little bit. So we'll chop them off and put a loop on the back. So what we need to do now is just see where we are. So first I think I better put the tank on so I can, that's the seat hump, but I don't know where the front of the seat's going to be. The tank's here. Let's just see. This is the fuel tank. And it sits there. So that's where the tank's gonna sit. So we'll just put a little mark on the tubes here so we know where the tank goes. I'm going to replace this tank eventually with an aluminium tank. I quite like the shape of this tank, so I'll probably make a tank similar, but a little bit lower. Let's see how we get on here. So let's take this tank back up again. And we'll just put it on the back of the TR7 out of the way. So there we have it. That's the front of the seat, and that's the seat hump. And the back of the seat will be rounded here somewhere. So what I'm going to do first, Joe, is to get a piece of card which I happen to have at my fingertips. What I'm going to do, it's hot today, I haven't got no, all my fans are not working due to having no electricity, so it's very, very hot and humid. So what we need to do is put this on the front where the tank's going to be. So that's the starting point. There. And we'll just draw and that's the seat hump, so I'll mark that. Now we'll just do the other side. Right, that's roughly the seat base. And that mark I put on there, get another pen. This mark here is where the seat hump's going to be. So that marks the back of the seat hump, and I'm going to put a loop on here. So these tubes outside are about 7, no, a little bit, hang on a minute. 6 and 7/8, so let's say 75mm across. So what we want is a radius from there 75mm to go around there like that. I'm going to put a round back on this seat. So how long do we want it? If you make it 150mm seat hump, 150. Right. So if we, that's the seat, that's the front where the tank is. That is there where the seat hump's going to be. So if I put another line on here, 150, centimeters. Sorry, 15 centimeters, 150mm. Right, let's cut that out to make it a little bit more manageable. We'll just cut a rough shape out first so we can see what we're doing. We're going to make this seat out of fibreglass. This is just a template. And it's a lot easier cutting cardboard than what it is cutting steel, so it's really good to start with something easy to cut up. It makes your life a lot easier. So if we cut up here, about the back of the seat, right, we'll move that out the way for a minute, but we are going to need it to make it the hump. Hang on a minute. Let's cut this other side off to make it a bit easier to see what we're doing. Like I said before, the kids' TV programme in the UK, Blue Peter, made everything out of cardboard, so I'm just following in John Knox's footsteps. My brother, our Colin, will understand all about that. Right, let's see how that looks. So, the front of the seat is going to be there like that. So that's basically the seat base, like that. We're going to have to bend this base to clear this loop, which used to hold the back mud guard. But I'm not sure whether I'm going to keep it or not, or just put a flat piece in. We'll probably keep it, but cut the back off it just to make it a single, make it a little bit lighter. Anyhow, let's see how we're getting on here. So that's the front. And that's the seat hung. So as you can see, it more or less follows the line of the top tubes. So that's going to be the seat base. But it's going to have to come up like that. Let's put a little bend in it there to clear this bracing strut, like that. Still on the same mark for the front of the seat. So now we want to come down about there. It's not too precise at the moment, but we'll refine it all a little bit later. So, I want to be bent there and bent the other way on the line, like so. That'll clear that piece. I'll also put a little groove in it to accept that. In fact, I won't. I'll just chop that off. I don't need that on there. It just makes things complicated. So that's that there, like that. So the back of the seat. Now the problem here is if I do it like this, there's a gap here under the back of the seat. So what we're going to do now is just take a couple of measurements. It's okay, I'll just put some side pieces on here. I'll show you in a minute when I get around to doing that. So that's basically the seat pan at the moment, like that. So what we're going to do next, from that second line to there, that's 150. And that's 90 millimeters. So half of 90 is 45. Sorry, I'm wrong here. 190, Stuart. That's 50 and 45, 95. So the middle of this is there. It's only rough at the moment. I'll tidy it all up in a bit. I'm just getting the basic shape at the moment. so if I'm at 95 down there, from the end of this, roughly, like so. So what we're going to do is mark a radius off. So I'm going to hold my pen there like that. And this shoelace is stretchy, which isn't good. That'll do. So all I'm doing is holding this shoelace tight. I should have brought, I've got a drawing set at home. Just let me get something round to go on here. 2 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Shoelace, too stretchy, no good. So anyhow, we're not beat. What we're going to use is this soup bowl. Not quite big enough, but it'll do. We put that in the middle, roughly there. And just draw around it, like so. Then we can cut it out. So that's the back of the seat now. So it's going to be rounded at the back. So it's going to sit on here, like that, like that. So there we have it, like that. But it's going to have a side on it here. So, how high do we need the seat back? Let's have a think about this. How high do I want it? The hump. What do we think, people? 4 inches? which is here, maybe a little bit more, 120, which is there. So, let's have a little think. What we need to do is see how high we want this. That's 100mm, that's 120mm. You also want to cut something. How high is it? We want a piece cut. How high is that? So I want to have a piece to go around this outside. So if we cut a piece, .22mm, might do it. So let's do that first and put a bottom on there. How long do we want it? Well, roughly, not a good idea, Stewie, that is it? And 400mm long-ish. I'll make it 450. So I cut a piece off here. .22mm wide, which is this height here from there to there. There's no power in the workshops of paint today, because I wasn't supposed to be working here like this into the doorway. So I'll mark that 22mm. Be a bit longer. That's 22mm. I'm going to cut this. All I'm doing at the moment is making a plug. Once I get this plug made how I want it, I'm going to cover it with body filler and rub it down to make the mould. I'm then going to put wax over the mould as a release agent, and then I'm going to cover the mould with fibreglass to make the seat. But I'm just showing you the first step at the moment. Cutting this. There we have it, that'll do us. So what we're going to do now is tape this round the back of this, like so. Let's get some tape and we'll start sticking it on. Right, see me, it's red hot here today, roasting. It's even too hot for the mosquitoes today. It's just masking tape, that's all. So how long have we made this? 20 inches. So half of that, 10. I'm not sure which tape I'm going to use yet, this one or that one. Depends which one's working out the better. So all I'm going to do, that's roughly the centre line there. So what I'm going to do is stick this on the centre. Like so. See? That's roughly in the centre of this. And all I'm going to do now is go round it and stick in it like so. It's a good job I watched a lot of Blue Peter on the TV when I was a kid, or I'd not be able to make any of these things now. As you can see, it's taking shape, isn't it? Right, let's do a bit on the other side. It's just a little bit of time you need, but you can get a good result. And the good thing is, you're not spending a fortune. I could have just bought something, but I looked online, I couldn't see anything that I really wanted. Or not the correct shape, anyhow. Plus it gives me time to talk to you people and just show what we're doing here in Stuart's Classic Bike and Car Workshop. So what we need to do now is chop that. Like so. tape in it. Now do the other side. And as you can see, I'm going to cut that down there and stick it. I can do that now. I think we'll stick that on the inside. It might make it a little bit neater. Like so. Just put a couple of extra pieces on so it doesn't go moving again. The thing is, using cardboard like this, or card, and masking tape, it's easy, and if you get it wrong, it's only a matter of cutting it with some scissors. It's not rocket science to do it. Trim that a little bit. Put a bit more masking tape on it. So that's that side nearly done. Just put some more tape down there so it keeps it all together while we do the other side. As you can see, it's quite easy, and with a little bit of patience and a little bit of time, anybody can do it. It's only a piece of cardboard and some masking tape and a pen and a rule. So, carry on doing this. Work our way down the other side now. As you can see, it's already looking a little bit stronger. Yeah? Right, let's get this other side done. So it wants to be there, like so. coming together, isn't it? Walk along now. All we've got to do is make the seat hump to go on the back of here next. And we'll see how we get on. So we bend this and cut this. I know, pens in the pocket. There somewhere. So, that's where the so basically, that's the seat base. The seat's going to be rounded back. This will be, so what we need to do now, before we do much more, so I want this to come more or less close to the frame rails, like so. So that's the basic shape. So what we need to do next is see, we need to go up. So what do we say? What are we thinking about? $130 is there where my finger is. $120. So what I need to do is to make a curved piece now to go over the back. That's 120 high, which I think will, or 130 maybe. Let's make it 130. So I want a piece 130 by 80. That's 80. So 130. This is the seat back. Let's see if we're happy with this. Right, that's the seat. That's where the tank is. That's there. Just like that. Trim that a little bit. I'm going to take that lip off there, which will make this seat go down a little bit better. So, like that. So, that there is going to go there. Now, do I want it flat like that? Or do I want it curved like that? Or just flat? Let's put it flat now, I can always alter it. Just to see what it looks like. Ah, hang on a minute, that's not right, because I wasn't watching what I was doing there, because the actual seat hump wants to be there, not there. So, the seat hump is there. Nearly made a fatal mistake there, put the seat hump in the wrong place. There we go. You'll not see this step here, because this will be filled with foam. Because I'll be sat at this height, not at this height. So, what we need to do, Stewie, put that there. It's not quite wide enough for there, but it doesn't matter. I'll cut another piece in a minute. So the seat hump's going to be there, like so. So that's the basic seat pan. And all I'm going to do is fill this back in with a curve and round it. I'm not quite sure the best way of doing that yet, but I'm thinking about how we're going to do it. So anyhow, that's the basic seat there. We've marked it where the tank finishes there. We've put a step in to go over that bracket, which I'm going to remove that lip off tomorrow when I get some power to make this sit better, and I don't need it anyhow. So that's going to go there like that, and the hump of the seat will be there. This will be filled with foam, and then we'll glass mat it. But also here, we need to drill this and put a steel frame inside to pick up these two holes and this bracket, because that'll hold it on. That's how we bolt it onto the seat. So that's quite easy, that. So there we have it. That's step one on how to make. So what I'm going to do next, tomorrow, I'll finish this back up and I'll show you how I'm doing it. This back here. We'll make a steel frame and then we'll see about getting it ready before we start putting any glass work on it. Thanks for watching. Keep watching. Hope you're interested still. Hopefully we'll have power tomorrow so I can get a fan, but it's too hot. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.